Hey everybody, wanted to share with you guys my thoughts on the Wilson Baiardo. I've been stringing on this for about 2 years. I have a list of pros and cons that I like and dislike about the machine. So to get started, let's start with the clamps. So to start off, talking about the base clamps, these are excellent, very, very solid, nice click. This is all metal. That's all metal. Actually, that's plastic, but this is metal, that's metal, all metal. So it feels very, very nice, substantial. As for the clamps, very, very easy to maintain. Just one screw here, unscrew this part. There's going to be one spring inside, and you can just pull it all apart. I do find that you do need to do your maintenance. If you don't, what's going to happen is if you have a lot of strings that have like a coating on it, it's going to gunk up the diamond coated jaws. So yeah. Moving on to the mounting system, I really, really like how simple. It's very efficient. Let me just grab a empty frame here. Super quick to mount. Just tighten that. Do the outside first. So usually what I do. Then center the main, and boom, you're done. That's it. Finger tight, and you're good. Really, really simple. No issues with that at all. So unfortunately, one of the negatives about the Baiardo is it has a pretty weak turntable lock. I've spoken to many people, technicians, and they all say that it's a pretty weak implementation. What I found best to do when you have like a Prince O port is to basically take the handle of the racket and hold it against your hip and try to basically clamp as fast as you can under tension, just so that you don't affect the tension too much. Forgot to mention, when you're stringing, just try to avoid getting your string caught up in this area, especially under the table lock. What's going to happen is it'll actually get in between the teeth, and then if, let's say, you're stringing your crosses, you're basically going to have to take out your entire string from the back or the front, wherever you started your cross at, and it's pretty annoying whenever it gets caught. As for the puller head, I have no issues with it. It's very solid. I like how this is a nice thick piece of plastic here, so basically I'm not too worried about this breaking off or anything like that. I also really enjoy how I can stick a tiny piece of string in here, push it against here, then pull. Especially for those short tie-offs, it works wonderful. In terms of storage, I have no issues with that. Everything has its place. I really like how you can have some extra storage down here. My starting clamp fits perfectly right there. My cutters, setting off all, my regular all, what do you call it? I forget what that one's called, but it's the one that helps you feed a string through. But yeah, everything fits, everything that I need anyway. Some people might have other tools that they use, but this is more than plenty for my needs. As for the menu, no issues there. Everything is pretty straightforward. You got your plus or minus 10-pound increments. You got your plus or minus 1-pound increments, and your plus or minus 0.1 pound increment. Never actually had to use this 0.1 pound increment, but you never know. As for the settings, this is to these three right here. That's to set your machine height and tilt. And that's just personal preference, whatever you want to set it to. For me, I don't use a tilt too often. I actually like my machine pretty level. Again, that's just personal preference. Just going to these settings, you're going to have your cross string tension, which, if you're doing, let's say, 50 pounds for the mains, and then for the crosses, you would do, like, let's say 10% more. You can set it in here. Oh, let me go back. You have your pre-stretch here. I believe this one goes all the way up to 20%, if I remember. Actually, it goes higher. Yeah, 30%. Actually, I was completely wrong. So you can do up to 30% pre-stretch. Usually for customers, if someone asks for a pre-stretch, I usually do 15%. Here we have kilograms or pounds. Again, oops. Again, that's pretty easy to set. You have your sound on or off. I like it on just because you can always hear when you reached your reference tension. And for puller speed, I always keep it at 100%. Never really found the need to change it up unless I was doing natural gut. And when I'm doing natural gut, I'll probably drop it down to about 70% just because I like that slower pull. But yeah, that's all to it for the menu. Just a little bit slow. Other than that, it's pretty solid. So overall, the Wilson Baiardo, for the money, it's a very solid machine. Can't really go wrong with it. Like I said, the only thing that really bothers me is probably the table lock down there. But that's dependent on how many Prince O ports you're gonna have to string up. But yeah, other than that, really love the machine. Unfortunately, I'll be selling this one, and I'll be using the Slinko one, which you can find a review coming very, very soon.